That'd be nice if I could just set goals for myself and let them go the second they are obsolete, but I can't. I want to complete my novel right now. Rest is every bit as critical as doing the project. Welcome to NaNoWriMo, day 1. I didn't get any writing done today. So we're going to talk about fear, I think. Yeah, that seems right. I was doing self-reflection based on my reading for the next cycle year, and it actually dug up some of my anxieties that I'm having with completing projects. And I've had this anxiety for a while. If you've been following my page for a long time, you will have known that some of my past fears for NaNoWriMo is not finishing projects. It's not necessarily not finishing the 50,000 words so much as it's completing the project in and of itself. So completing the goals I set for myself. I've mentioned before how hard I am when I don't reach a goal. Even though it's a goal I personally set for myself, I'm really, really harsh. And because I do that, I tend to then shut down, and it's very hard for me to spring back and be able to move on and move forward. I have such intense fear of not completing things. I think part of it is I fear that others will perceive me as being lazy. Like, I always fear, like, if I don't complete this project, if I'm not like on this certain timeline, then that makes me like a lazy author. And that whole term, the term lazy, I'm really trying to destroy that term from my vocabulary, and I haven't succeeded yet, but I'm working on it. I remember very clearly having to get letters of recommendation from people for a scholarship. And one of them was another mom in our church group. And she was the mom of one of my best friends at the time. And I remember she was filling out the form in front of me, and she actually was reading the questions out loud. And one of them is like, how reliable is this person? And she was like, well, I was gonna put like a 5 out of 5, but I think I have to give you like a 3 or something, because sometimes I've noticed you're lazy and you don't do as much as you should. And I remember in that moment of hating myself so deeply. I think she explained it as like, well, sometimes you don't clean your room super nice. I've heard from your mom, sometimes you don't do that. There were moments, there still are moments where my depression hits me so bad that getting out of bed is hard and brushing my hair is very difficult. There's one time I actually had mats on the underside of my hair I had to take care of. It took a really long time because I had been in depressive mode for weeks. And I know now I wasn't lazy, I was ill. Yeah, my fear is deep-seated about not completing things. And so in order to complete something, I push myself beyond my physical limits. I push myself far too fast, far too hard, and I burn out frequently. I have frequent burnouts, which then makes me worse, because every time I have a burnout, I interpret that as I'm being lazy, I'm being a bad artist. And it's so, you know what the worst part is it's very easy for me to give out advice to other artists to take it easy, to take their personal, physical, and mental well-being into account, and that they're not bad artists if they take a break and rest. Because I do believe that, like, if you take a break and rest, if you just go into survival mode, you are not a bad artist. And I fully believe that. But do I apply that to myself? It's so much easier for me to hold that gentle grace for others than it is for me to hold that for myself. I have completed so much though. I came to Japan, I have fulfilled over a year at my job. I'm completing my second year come next spring. I have a home. It's not just an apartment. I've made a home here. Even if I'm just looking October, did I finish my novel I set out to finish in the month of October so I could focus on my NaNoWriMo short stories? No, I did not finish it. I still need to finish the novel, and that one's Paramount right now, so that's gonna cut into NaNoWriMo. But I did still get stuff done. Hold up. I showed a little bit of this for my last Preptober video, but this is my creative workbook, and which is also working as my creative journal for the last bit of my novel project, and this has really helped me. I've been able to get plot points faster, and I've been able to do brainstorming more efficiently using this method. So I've been experimenting with methods, and in doing so, I have actually figured out a lot more of how I want this story to end. Instead of having a more vague idea of how the story ends, I have a pretty concrete idea of the next couple chapters leading up to the conclusion of the book. If I had sped through the process, I might not have come to these better conclusions for these characters. Rest is every bit as critical as doing the project. I'm saying that intellectually. I'm not completely digesting that right now, but I need to. My end outcome for my reading that I did was, of course, Wheel of Fortune. Of course. That's been coming up a lot for me recently, and I think it's just one of the major lessons I'm trying to learn right now, because my major fear of not completing projects, I think that fear worsens a lot when I blame myself for that turning of the wheel. So the Wheel of Fortune is looking at entire life as just a constant wheel in progress. And as such, there is an up and a down tick of that wheel, and that's normal and natural. And the point of mastering the wheel is, where is your center? Because the center stays put. Like, even though it's turning, it's balanced and it's within the center of everything. So it's not being affected on the outside of the wheel. Even though the rest of the wheel seems crazy, the center is calm. Writing has an ebb and flow to it. There are, especially my writing, because I have these bursts of inspiration and I will sit down and write 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 words in a sitting. And then I will have this stretch of a couple days where I don't write anything at all. And it's just these bursts and then nothing, because I tend to burn myself out. I burn bright and I burn out. And finding a way for me to have a more gentle ebb and flow is something that I'm always going to strive for, but I can't rely on that maybe happening. One of these shadows of the Wheel of Fortune is keeping yourself hung up on what ifs. If I can get this, then this will happen. If only this would happen, then I will achieve this other thing. One of my what ifs is getting a writing routine. One of my what ifs is being able to manage that ebb and flow to such an extent that I can complete projects when I anticipate them being finished. Instead of working with my ebb and flow, I seek to try to control it in some way. But the reality is I shouldn't be relying on the idea that I can control it, because maybe I can, but there's very much a possibility I cannot. What if that ebb and flow I have, it very much could be related directly to my mental illnesses, to any particular, it could be related to things that are undiagnosed in me that I very much may be on the spectrum for. If that's the case, I'm always going to have this struggle. This struggle is always going to be with me. So just as it was with my mental state of like, how do I create systems that help me, that work with what I already have instead of trying to fix what I already am. What am I right now and what do I need to improve? So finding that center of like, where am I right now? What do I need? If what I need is rest, I need to give myself permission to do that. If what I need right now is to, you know what, NaNoWriMo started, but I'm really distracted by my novel. I want to complete my novel right now. I'm not ready to move on to my short stories. I don't care that NaNoWriMo has started. I'm going to complete my novel first because it's what I want to do. And I don't know how long that's going to take. And you know, maybe I can complete it and I can do some short story work this month. Maybe I can't. Maybe I don't. And that's okay. That's totally fine. You'd think it'd be so easy because you're like, you set that goal for yourself. You can just let it go. And that'd be nice if I could just set goals for myself and let them go the second they are obsolete. But I can't because I set that goal for myself initially. And now it's fixated in my brain. Where's my center? What do I need right now? The wheel will always keep turning. I'm going to go through these phases where I can and cannot produce art. When I'm in a place where I can and want to produce art, I should do so, and I should set things up so that I can get as much out of that as possible. But in the times when I'm unable to do so, like I'm in pain, I need to just be able to rest and not beat myself up for that. I'm not a lazy artist because I need rest. I'm not a lazy artist because I have a mental illness. I'm not a lazy artist because I don't constantly produce art for the enjoyment of someone else. I am an artist because I produce art, period. And I don't need to justify that by every spare second of my life being writing or making something. I'm gonna do what I need to do as an artist, and I can't predict that right now. And you know what? I'm not gonna try. I'm just gonna let the wheel spin, and what happens, happens, and I'll do my best. And you know what? I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna enjoy myself this month. I'm not gonna let how fast that wheel is turning intimidate me. I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my night, cramps and all, and I hope you guys do as well. Well, not minus the cramps. I hope you guys aren't having cramps right now. It's not fun. I hope you have a wonderful start of NaNoWriMo, and but yeah, let me know your fears down below. And honestly, I'm really bad in planning like writing sprints. Let me know down below, you guys doing like sprints, like live streams and stuff. Can you please let me know which ones you're attending, because I'll try to show up to, especially the ones that are in the evening. The ones in the evening, because the evening in the United States is my morning, so I might be able to attend. Unfortunately, the ones that are in the morning, I probably won't be able to make it to, because that's like 2 a.m. in the morning for me, so probably not gonna happen. But please let me know about the evening sprints that you guys are going to be attending, because those, I might actually be able to make it for those. May we all be the center of our wheels this month and have a blast being there. Seriously, let's just have fun this month. Be that with 100 words under our belt or making the 50,000 mark. Or over. Why not? Happy NaNoWriMo.